What if I told you there's a search engine that doesn't track a single click, doesn't build a profile on you, and has no idea who you even are? And what if I told you that Google has made it nearly impossible to find, and Apple almost killed it overnight with a single change? This is the story of DuckDuckGo, the search engine that started in a basement, took on a trillion-dollar monopoly, and somehow survived. But the question is, at what cost? Most of us wake up, open Chrome, and type into Google without thinking twice. It's free, it's fast, and it just works. But here's the thing you're probably ignoring. Nothing is free. Every single search you make builds a profile. Google knows what you searched for at 2 a.m. It knows what you're worried about based on your health searches. It knows what you're planning based on your travel queries. And it sells that information to advertisers who will pay top dollar to get inside your head. In 2024, Google made over $200 billion from advertising. That's not a search company. That's an advertising company disguised as a search engine. And that's where our story begins. Back in 2008, a guy named Gabriel Weinberg was feeling lonely. He just moved to a suburb in Pennsylvania for his wife's job, and he didn't know anyone. So he did what any tech founder would do. He started a meetup. Weinberg wasn't some random guy. He'd already sold a company called Names Database for $10 million. He had money in the bank and time to burn. So when ideas popped into his head, he built them. Over the course of a year, he worked on 25 different projects. 25. Most failed. But one idea stuck. Weinberg had this theory that search results were broken. Google kept showing spammy, low-quality content because that's what made money. Weinberg thought there had to be a better way. He wanted to build a search engine that showed you what you actually wanted, not what paid the most. He named it after a game he played with his kids, Duck, Duck, Goose. When DuckDuckGo launched in September 2008, it looked nothing like it does today. It wasn't even about privacy at first. Weinberg just wanted better results. He pulled from over 400 sources, including Bing, Yahoo, and Wikipedia, to build something different. But nobody came. For 2 years, DuckDuckGo was basically invisible. Weinberg funded everything himself. Servers, development, everything. It was just him in his basement, coding away while Google processed billions of searches without even knowing he existed. Then in 2010, something clicked. Weinberg realized he couldn't beat Google at relevance. Google had thousands of engineers and decades of data, but he could beat them at something else: trust. People were starting to realize that Google was watching everything. So Weinberg spent $7,500 on a billboard in San Francisco. It was in the tech-heavy Soma district, and it said 5 words: Google tracks you, we don't. That billboard changed everything. Traffic doubled. Tech blogs picked up the story. Reddit and Hacker News went crazy for it. By 2011, DuckDuckGo was processing over 5 million searches a month. It wasn't much compared to Google, but it was something. And that's when the big guys started paying attention. Here's where things get messy. In 2009, years before all this, Google had acquired a video codec company called On2. That company owned a domain, duck.com. For years, people trying to find DuckDuckGo would type duck.com into their browsers expecting to land on the privacy search engine. Instead, Google sent them nowhere. It just sat there, redirecting to Google's main page. Weinberg tried to get the domain. Google said no. For years, they said no. It wasn't until 2018, almost a decade later, that Google finally transferred duck.com to DuckDuckGo. We still don't know what it cost or why Google finally gave in. But that wasn't the only trick Google had. In 2018, the European Union hit Google with a record $5 billion fine. The reason? Google was forcing phone makers to pre-install Chrome and Google Search if they wanted access to the Play Store. As part of the ruling, Google had to let Android users choose their search engine during setup. You'd think that would be great for DuckDuckGo, right? Wrong. Google created an auction system. Search engines had to bid for placement in that choice screen. Bing and Yahoo could pay millions. DuckDuckGo couldn't. For years, they were only shown in 4 European countries. Everywhere else, users never even saw the option. Google literally made competitors pay for the privilege of being chosen. But the scariest moment came in 2014. Apple announced that DuckDuckGo would be included as a search option in Safari, both on iPhone and Mac. This was huge. Millions of users would see DuckDuckGo as an option. For a while, it was great. But here's the thing about Apple. They have a deal with Google worth billions. Google pays Apple an estimated $15 to $20 billion every year to be the default search engine on every iPhone. Every time you open Safari, it's Google by default. DuckDuckGo is buried in settings. You have to know it exists, scroll down, and manually change it. Most users never do. And if Apple ever decided to remove that option entirely, DuckDuckGo would lose millions of users overnight. One company controls the gateway to half the world's smartphones, and that company gets paid by Google to keep things exactly the way they are. Now, I'm not going to pretend DuckDuckGo is perfect, because it's had some serious problems. In 2022, security researchers discovered that DuckDuckGo's browser was allowing Microsoft trackers on non-Microsoft sites. The browser that promised to block everything was making an exception for the one company that paid them. When this came out, the privacy community exploded. How could the most trusted privacy company cut a deal with Microsoft? DuckDuckGo apologized. They said it was an oversight. They promised to fix it, but the damage was done. If you sell yourself as the privacy browser, you can't make exceptions, even for Microsoft. So where does DuckDuckGo stand today? As of 2025, they process over 100 million searches per day. That's still nothing compared to Google's billions, but it's real. In the United States, they have about 2% market share. In some countries, it's higher. They've expanded beyond search. They have a browser, an email protection service that strips trackers, and even a VPN now. They're building an entire privacy ecosystem. And here's the irony. Google has started copying them. Chrome is phasing out third-party cookies. Google talks about privacy constantly in their ads. They even added DuckDuckGo as a default option in Chrome itself back in 2019. The little search engine from a basement forced the biggest company in the world to change how they talk about privacy. Is DuckDuckGo perfect? No, they've made mistakes. They've had scandals. They still rely on Bing for some results, which means if Bing goes down, so do they. But here's what matters. They've survived. They survived Google's domain tricks. They survived Apple's default search deals. They survived the auction systems and the algorithm changes, and the billion-dollar contracts designed to keep competitors invisible. And today, if you care about privacy, you have a choice. It's buried in settings. You have to go find it, but it's there. The question is, will you take 5 seconds to switch, or will you keep letting Google decide what you see? If you want to see more stories about the companies fighting to take back control of your data, check out this video on Brave Browser right here. It's the browser Google doesn't want you to use, and trust me, the story gets even wilder. Thanks for watching.